In this video, we are going to be talking about shower floors and walls.
We're making this video because we get so many calls from facility managers who are upgrading their showers that they have now, trying to get away from all this tile, trying to get into something that's seamless and non-leaky.
We're actually having a real uptick in people that are contacting us. A lot of universities, a lot of schools, and this is becoming very much so, almost like a ritual, almost every year around between the months of, I would say probably March and July, and then again it happens around the break, Christmas break and everything. We'll have people contacting us, and what we've had over the last few years especially, but even further back than that, is people that are looking to, say a dorm, for example. They have showers, and they have issues with maybe the tenants in there overflowing the shower or the toilet or whatever it is, leaking down to the floor below. We've done hundreds, if not more, shower walls all the way up, maybe 6-7 feet up, all the way around the toilet and everything. Completely seamless floor, and that includes the walls. We've even done some ceilings.
So it sounds like before you guys got there, it was a pretty gross situation. Let's talk a little bit more about the solutions to that.
Absolutely, the Everlast Floor, and this also goes, by the way, for water parks and pools and stuff like that, where you're going to have those messy situations. We've installed it either as a wainscot or across the floor up to the ceiling, again up on the ceiling itself, and now you've got the seamless floor. You don't have any water leaking down to the floor beneath if you're talking about a multi-story unit. We don't have a requirement for a second-tier waterproofing system. In fact, we don't even recommend that at all.
The Everlast Floor and Wall offers a uniform, it's a resin-rich troweled-on system. It forms a physical bond between the material and the surface that kind of permanently is fixing them together. So in the end result, you got an unbroken, continuous surface. It's also non-porous. It's resistant against like urine and strong detergents and chlorine and disinfectants, and helps curb some bacterial and fungal growth.
We used this in a elderly care facility, and they had, I don't remember how many facilities, I think it was 3 facilities, and they had multiple bathrooms. What they do is they bring the tenants in, they'd wheel them in on, say, a wheelchair, and they'd have to shower them off in there, and they had an area where they didn't want the water running to the rest of the bathroom, so they built it up with a hump with the Everlast. So now you've got this floor that again is continuous. It goes from the bathroom or the toilet area all the way up over into the bathroom area. And they didn't have leak through into the patient rooms because they had every room in sequence or in line, and some of them were on multi-floor levels too. So you had to worry about leak through. You got pipes and all that stuff, and you have water that leaks through sometimes from right before you get to the drain with a tile situation where you get, or in a rubber floor situation where you have maybe a bad or disconnect around the drain itself, and you got water leaking through onto the patient floor beneath them.
Well, having it be seamless sounds great, but wouldn't like a fabricated shower, one of those things be about the same?
Typically those prefab systems, they're not going to be able to handle the wear and tear like where ours would be installed in. So you have this prefab fiberglass shower, and you've got maybe it's harder getting your customers in and out, plus you got the wear and tear. We've had some of them where they have had them bolted together, and over a period of time of using them, and they use them a lot because they're bringing people in and out all day long pretty much, where the water just started leaking through in all these different areas, and they literally had to tear out the fixtures and put the Everlast in its place.
Well, plus with these prefab units, they all have to be custom measured. And a lot of times these facilities, they're not identical from room to room, so it's really a longer process, and a lot of times you got to turn them around fast because there's only a certain amount of time where, say, students aren't there or something, and so there's not necessarily enough time to go prefabbing a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. Whereas Everlast, you can trowel it on, and so it doesn't matter the shapes and sizes. You just buy a bunch of kits and just go to town and you knock them out one at a time.
If you're looking at a prefab unit that's maybe a 1/16 of an inch fiberglass, if we're talking about that, it's not going to be able to handle the wear and tear. I mean, if it's college dorms, a lot of times you got college kids that are somewhat destructive, shall we say. And then we've got areas where maybe they're bringing people in, maybe they're wheeling people in, it just can't handle it. And over a period of time, areas, especially if you're talking about like where the tub or shower ends and the tile picks up, you got that joint right there and you got water leaking through. And if you've got issues where water's leaking downstairs, that's going to be huge.
So wouldn't they need to first inspect the shower membrane or the shower pan and make sure that's good if you're going to be putting Everlast over it? Or
we don't even recommend putting a membrane down beneath before the Everlast goes down. And I know there's a number of other systems out there where they really are heavily relying on that second tier waterproofing system that's underneath the epoxy, maybe if it's an epoxy or a tile coating to really stop the water. Ours, we recommend not putting down a waterproof membrane, rather putting the Everlast right up to the substrate. That allows it to become part of the surface. It'll marry to that and it actually can't remove. There's no space there. There's no ability for it to leak through.
The only thing we'd really want to check is have the contractor check the drains to make sure our Everlast floor is going up against a good solid. Sometimes the drains need to get replaced.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We really need, a lot of times, the customer needs the drains because there might be one, there might be 20, and they need to have the ability to have it sealed around the drain. And ours is a liquid seal, and there's a lot of it too. So it's a liquid epoxy seal around the drain. It's not a cutout, or hopefully, I remember when we did many years ago, I did tile, and we would trowel up to the drain and all that stuff. And we try and make it work, and try and make it to where all the water went down the drain and not the outside of the drain down the pipe into the floor beneath or wherever it's going to go.
So what about slip resistance?
Yeah, slip resistance is important because the showers get wet. But that's the nice thing about the Everlast floor is it's a textured finish. So it's good for shower floors. And we can add extra slip resistance out in the restroom area, but the shower itself is it's almost already got the perfect texture.
Yeah, when we're talking whether it's a gym floor, or a gym shower, a hospital shower, an elderly care facility shower, a university school, that type of shower, whatever it is, a lot of times there's going to be some kind of anti-slip that we're going to put on there because a impervious floor is generally always going to be slippery unless it has some additive, like say the aluminum oxide we use for anti-slip. And that can be, again, like you said, it can be added, more can be added, some can be taken away, just depends on what the customer really feels comfortable with.
Okay, so you're just going to put it in there as a precaution and then they can adjust it how they need to.
Yeah, and I assume as a default, I assume that they're going to have that in there. And if they ask me to take it out, I mean, you're looking at $20, $30 usually difference.
Well worth it.
If they have 100, 150 showers to do.
Yeah, it might be a little more than $20, $30, but
Well, they'll want our dealer to give them like a mock-up shower first so they can see exactly what it is. And you'll probably see that the texture is already perfect. But if it's not, you can make your adjustments on the first one and then they can do all the rest that way.
yeah, and that can be added later too. It can be added, it can be more aggressive, or it can be dumbed down a little bit by putting just another coat of glaze. And again, glaze is not very expensive at all.
Wonderful. So you guys also mentioned you can go over existing tile. How does that work?
Basically, if you have a clean, sound, dry tile surface, you'd scuff it up, and that would be both the walls and the floors. We've had actually one university that used our product. They were trying to update their showers. And they had old, outdated tile and everything, and they were wondering how they're going to rip it all out. And I think they stumbled across our website. They saw that they could apply it over the top of the tile. They ended up scuffing up the tile. They put the Everlast over the top of it, and now there's no remembrance that there's tile there anymore at all. And they got their updated look and everything.
So putting this over an existing surface, doesn't this take a long time?
It's gonna take less time than doing tile for sure.
Oh.
Well, we recently had a dealer do around 150 showers and toilet rooms all in one. It's kind of like a unit, had a shower and toilet, did the whole room. And I think they got it done in about a month. So that was about an average of maybe 6 to 8 rooms a day.
Yeah, I called them up and I said, how's it going? They said, oh, we've been done for a while, so.
Well, what about a place that's constantly wet, like the public aquatic recreational facilities, something like that?
That's going to be absolutely important to have something like the Everlast down because you're getting constant water. Not to mention, you're getting people coming in all day, and you may possibly have some accidents, hopefully not, but you may have some accidents. I remember one time I was in a gym bathroom. There were single showers, but they had tile on the floor, and I saw all the grout joints, and I thought, man, that is really unfortunately disgusting. So I'd bring sandals in there. But thinking about if I had a seamless solution, I wouldn't be thinking about the porous grout joints and whatever goes into there. And this Everlast system will offer that. It's an impervious system. It's a non-slip system, which the tile was not at all. But this would allow it to be all of the above, and it'd be very sanitary. I don't think I would worry so much about sandals and something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you see tile in these showers, and you just
breeding ground.
I just feel bad for them, because.
Yeah, in that bathroom too, I forgot to mention, there was some areas where clearly there had been some moisture issues because some of the tile was bowing out, and which to me means that there's moisture that had gotten back there and swelled up, maybe whatever it was that was back there, was drywall or wood or what have you.
They probably seeped through the grout joints, got under the tile, and started popping the tile up.
Common, very common thing.
So if you're looking for commercial shower floors and walls, something that's seamless, waterproof, antimicrobial, all the things that everybody wants in a public facility, you need to look at Everlast Floors. Hey guys, if you like this video and would like to learn more, we would love to send you a sample and answer any questions you might have. Just visit our website or be sure to give us a call.